with new, smoother, darker chocolate. Dark Bounty. Indulge yourself in the taste of paradise.
Hello, it's time for the Television Affair. Johnny here with some more information you don't need to know about, but you find it interesting anyway. And that's what I'm renaming this to. I think it's a good ring to it. Anyway, today we're going to be checking out some old TV channels that you probably never watched or even knew about. The first one today is called the Computer Channel. When British Satellite Broadcasting first launched its 5-channel TV in 1990, there's one thing they didn't mention, and that was the 6th channel, because when you say 5 channels, you mean 5 channels and not an extra 6th one. But that's what they meant, and guess what it was called? The Bum Channel. No, not the Bum Channel, the Computer Channel, of course, and it launched on the same day as all of the BSB channels on March 25th, 1990. I didn't mention this in episode 1 because I didn't want to, basically. It wasn't advertised, and it wasn't for the public to view anyway, and it was also on the sports channel during the day when this channel was actually switched off. Looking at the footage of it, it was a very interesting channel. BSB actually had another service for companies who wanted to use the Marco Polo satellite for their own businesses, whether that's a communication tool to staff or even directly to customers. It was part of BSB's data vision, and that meant that a lot of the programming was very brown. And what I mean by that is very boring. It was more about the information of stuff rather than the entertainment side of things. If you watch the previous episodes, which by the way can be likened to a mild but pleasant roller coaster ride, you will be aware that BSB didn't last for that long. It launched in March and was merged with Sky by November, and the whole thing was restructured, and this meant the Computer Channel was finished a mere 9 months after its launch. As you've probably seen also, the names are reused over the years, and I'm not really sure what it is with TV people, whether they forget that the public has memories. It kind of works the same with politicians. For instance, Sky Mix, Sky Max, forget about it. I'm still waiting for Sky Select, to be honest. Anyway, so Sky is the worst for it, just like how Sky Arts also had a reincarnation and also did the Computer Channel, but the Computer Channel was the first one to do it. Sky B, BSB's successor, launched the new Computer Channel in 1996, and it was on for 2 hours a day, time sharing with Granada Good Life, until Sky launched its own digital platform in 1998. When it got its own channel, it was on for 12 hours a day from midday to midnight, and this channel very much had its finger on the pulse. It was very much entertainment-y. It wasn't just about computers though, it was about the games, the consoles, the operating systems, and the new thing for 1998, the internet. I say new, it had been used for little things over the past few years, and also it had been used a lot for businesses and stuff. If you so happen to go back in time by accident, for instance, one day, and you asked for their Wi-Fi code, they would look at you like you just pooped on their floor. Believe it or not, there are actually people that watch my videos that had no idea the internet wasn't a thing in the early 1990s. In fact, it wasn't a thing during the 80s. But yeah, in the 90s it was a thing, but nowhere near like it is today. And for instance, the internet had no real range of websites or anything like that until 1996. No YouTube until 2005, and you couldn't really watch videos because the internet was too slow. Also, most videos were on tape, so how would you get the tape to a computer? It didn't make sense back then. Only people with the right equipment were able to do it, and they were mostly people in the TV industry. These guys are in 1997, and this is the Computer Channel using a program called ICQ. I had this, and there was something called MSN Messenger as well, which was a lot more popular than ICQ, but I always thought ICQ was better because you could actually call people on it, and you couldn't at the time on MSN. You could also send videos that you'd recorded on your webcam, because nobody had camera phones back then. I think in 1998 you couldn't even play Snake on your phone.
Right, so that's just a message and then you just send.
Is that some sort
right, now that little message tells you that they replied to you. That is your message. That tells you you've got an incoming message.
So shall we have a look at your incoming message?
Right, that's your handy man. Can you see that flashing?
On the screen now, if we can take a look on the screen, that flashing sign means we've got a message. And what do we have?
that says hi, and it's a little smiley face.
Well,
So
he's very
smiling.
talkative, isn't he, Andy Man? I mean, he really goes into detail, doesn't he? What about Minnie the Minx? Let's see what she's been talking to us about. Oh, that means you had a message from Minnie the Minx.
Yeah, so if we close that one.
Now that's probably because Andy Man's probably told Minnie the Minx that we've just told him that we're online, so she's probably trying to get in on the action now.
Yeah, so we've
Now, of course, Minnie the Minx could be a cat, dog, could be man,
a very
woman.
clever cat if it can
Hi,
tell
how's it going? Well, that's, I think, an awful lot more detail there than Andy Man gave us, so shall we reply? Can I reply?
Yes, certainly.
Okay.
This was all completely mad in 1998 because we've just come away from having this very analog style of having to use the phone box to go and call a friend up or using the landline. But now you could actually go on your computer and call up a friend. Although annoyingly, if you went on your computer to call a friend up, you'd still be using the landline up anyway. Anywho, the computer channel was renamed to .tv in March 1998, and I've been really distracted actually by researching this channel because it's like walking through the Media Museum in Bradford. It's called something else now, I can't really remember what it is, but anyway, it's in Bradford, it's got old tech in it, and it's cool. Another show was called Chips with Everything, which was a fun waste of time, a show where viewers would message in and ask computer experts questions on how to solve problems. The presenter here is called Kate Russell, and she is a technology reporter who worked for Click on BBC for a while, until Corona Fun Time that we had a few years ago, you might remember it. And then afterwards she got into ferrets, and she currently has a YouTube channel dedicated to caring for them.
Sam wants to get creative with music on the PC. He wrote to us and said this: Dear CWE, is there any way to delete the vocals when playing music on the PC? Is there any kind of download I can get that will take certain bits off the track but leave the music on? Thanks, from Sam. Sam, a bit of a karaoke fan, are we? Richard?
Well, Sam must really hate the Spice Girls and yet really love their music. So
Possibly.
But unfortunately, it's not possible to separate sound from music in a
Unless
final
you've got it in
recording.
separate tracks originally.
Yeah.
We don't,
.tv would close on the 2nd of September 2001 due to low audience figures and because they were unable to get the channel carried on cable networks. The next channel, Avago. Avago was a games channel, and I nearly mentioned this in episode 9 where I was talking about telephone quizzes, but I skipped it because actually it wasn't a telephone quiz channel, it was all about games and stuff, their main one being the bingo. There wasn't really anything else like it at the time or since. The closest thing that you've got to it is one of those play roulette things at night time, probably on Channel 5, and to be honest, the ones I've seen recently, it's like they've removed anything that could be perceived as personality from it. The main idea of the channel was bingo, and it took advantage of Sky Digital's technology that was brand new at the time. Viewers could take part in games by purchasing a bingo card and play from home. The closest players that would actually get to going on air was having their name read out and the emails into the studio. Some of the names are amazing, by the way.
Catch it in the litter tray.
Kissing me off in Manchester. Ivor Ardon. Say something rude. Ivor Ardon.
It was bought by Gala Bingo in 2006, and it survived on TV until 2011 when it moved online.
Is changing.
Coming soon to Channel 841 is Gala TV. Join me throughout the week for all day non-stop.
Eventually, just like the roulette, they would take anything that could be perceived as personality out of it and also made it completely automated, so there wasn't any time to mess about. It was literally just Lancashire's answer to Ernest P. Worrell saying the numbers.
32, 3 and 2, 32. 24, 2 and 4, 24. 73, 7 and 3, 73. 84, 8 and 4.
Easy TV was a shopping channel launched in March 2005, and it was a joint venture between JML.
Has this ever happened to you?
And Clean Easy, which was a catalogue that sold cleaning things. I know a lot about Clean Easy because I used to work for them in 2001. I was actually working for Fairpack Hampers, and they were part of the same company. So, I had to help put the catalogues away and also deal with some of the stuff that they sold. Fairpack ended up folding in 2006, which was an epic fuck-up, by the way. In short, loads of people paid Fairpack for Christmas hampers, and in October, Fairpack was like, I don't have your money, it's in Joel's house. And basically, a fund was created by external people. So people like Tesco, Sainsbury's, Marks and Spencer, and even B-Sky B donated to the fund. And Mylene Class sold the bikini that she wore from I'm a Celebrity earlier that year on eBay to help the people who put a bunch of money in for the hampers and would never get it. That money went to them. Anyway, back to Easy TV, and it used to broadcast live shows until 2005, and then it went into pre-recorded shows. In 2007, Clean Easy pulled out of the partnership with JML, and it changed its name to JML Direct, keeping the EPG and its presenters. This is Friendly TV, and it's a terrible logo. It looked like a 3-year-old designed it. It launched in 2003, and it was a little like Where It's At TV in places, on the basis of its budget, which was nothingness. There seemed to be a lot of This Morning type content, but just worse. Like, the one good thing was Paul Lavers, yay! Until, unfortunately, one day, while they were presenting the show, they didn't realise that the sound was left up when it should have gone to an advert break, and it didn't, and they were all quiet. Well, they weren't quiet. That's the problem, because they started then talking about Nicole Kidman and her sexuality, which various people said things that probably shouldn't have been said. Paul had to call what should have been the break, warning him that the audio was going out.
Thank you. Great, thank you. All right, mate, bye. Sound is going out on this channel. Now, sound.
In short, the channel was a hot mess. It was heavily scrutinised online. I can't think why.
We're bored. Send us a message. Let us know where you are. Where have you gone, Astro Boy?
And the channel was a bit of everything, really, other than lots of pre-recorded, like half-an-hour programmes. It didn't have any of that. The channel was also used as a pilot for the wrestling channel, and it had shows from the other smaller wrestling promotions. The other shows that it played were based on things you'd probably put into a radio show, but planned to last as long as possible by talking about whatever the content was, probably from a newspaper. They had an interactive quiz called Brainbox, which was apparently an online game. Another one called Stash to Cash, which was a full-on premium rate phone quiz. They had a show called Chatterbox, which had a live date, which mainly included people messaging dodgy messages to the presenters and the people having a date. And a show called GamerWeb TV, which was also a thing. No budget, obviously, but they used to review games, have playthroughs, and do weird sketches like this. I don't know whose idea it was to have Star Wars in an empty warehouse, but it seemed to work for them. The clips of the channel I can find, though, kind of give me off a very student radio station feel, but actually as a TV channel version. Similarly to what would happen with the advert channel would also happen to Friendly TV because of its babe content, which means that it was one of those channels in the evening with premium rate calls, and you'd speak to a girl writhing around on some sort of sofa licking her lips, dressed like she was getting ready to go out, but then got booted out of the bathroom about half an hour early. They didn't update their website for quite a while, and it looks like that the channel was just on for a bit, but just didn't have a website, which must have made contacting the channel quite difficult. So, if Friendly TV didn't have proper TV shows on in the day that lasted like half an hour or whatever, then what did they have on? Well, actually, it followed a trend of a couple of TV channels back then, such as Sumo TV, which is that it got around the problem of producing things themselves by getting the viewer to produce the content. So what would happen is that they would have a place for you to upload your videos onto the internet, and then they would air them. The success of Friendly TV, believe it or not, success is the word, they launched a second channel called Bedroom TV, also known as BTV, and that launched in July 2007. this was still early YouTube, so it was a platform for people to send in videos of themselves lip-syncing music videos. I'd imagine that this was created as Friendly wanted to separate the music video content from the comedy and other things that was getting sent in. It must have had enough material to run another proper channel. Friendly and BTV would also get told off by Ofcom quite a lot because of the babe content, and they didn't stick to the broadcasting rules, mainly stuff around the watershed and that you can't just switch from bringing normal programming into sexy sex or just start using offensive language. Friendly lasted until about late 2009 after a number of telling offs from Ofcom. It was probably spending more on paying Ofcom fines than what it was producing shows, which would defeat the object of the station existing. It would also commit the cardinal sin of not providing their recordings to Ofcom. So either they were not logging, which is a requirement and very naughty, or they were in breach and the punishment for that would have been a lot stronger. In a sort of damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. I can't really find a lot of footage from Friendly TV after around 2004 as well, so it seems like that it was just like maybe a zombie channel for a bit. BTV and Friendly probably also suffered from the rise of YouTube. BTV was on air from July 2007 and closed in August 2008 because of running costs. People used to post this sort of thing. You'll find the link in the description, or you can just search for Mr. P MIDI. Or this by Super Squad. Ultimate Chaos did this for Hadaway's What Is Love.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more.
But it was around this time YouTube was starting to gain traction, and by 2008 the channel was gone. Right, that's it for now. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and you can also support the channel by joining as a team member or support me on Patreon and get some exclusive videos, extra content and updates. A special thank you very much to Joseph Adams, Stephen Bride, Hooter Noodles and Matthew Beckley on Patreon, and Chris Elliott and Manuel Mobius on YouTube. The executive producer is Computer Tom. I've been Johnny Robinson, and I'll still be Johnny Robinson after this video is finished. Thank you, bye.